It was true, Cecil. I asked Uncle Thomas. It's true.
She's really going to sue him for breach of promise?
Yes, look, it's all in tonight's papers.
Let's see. Matron to sue local clubman. The only trouble with your uncle is if he's a clubman, he should have clubbed Mrs. Mason.
What does your aunt think about it, Cecil?
Well, I told him last night what the reporter said, and Aunt Beth said she couldn't understand Mrs. Mason doing it. Dr. Shepard, well, he doesn't know the old hen.
Uncle Thomas is going to have to go to court.
Wait, let me read the rest. Mrs. Gertrude Butterworth Mason, who was found wandering in the streets yesterday in a state of amnesia, there's that old word again, is to bring charges against Mr. Thomas Smith, president of the Smith Music Store. Ha! What does she think that'll get her?
Read here, Cecil. This.
She places a value of $100,000 upon her broken heart.
Imagine. I knew she'd do something like this sometime.
Mrs. Mason charges that she was on the verge of marriage when Smith cast her aside.
Cast her aside? He should have cast her to the lions.
She's too tough for a lion to eat. Ho-ho! Did you read this?
I read it all 3 or 4 times.
From her bedside in the hospital, Mrs. Mason made the following statement. I was an innocent woman who believed in the chivalry of men. When Thomas Smith asked me to become his wife, I gave him my girlish heart. Placing that heart in his cruel hands, he grew tired of me and suddenly changed. 2 nights ago, when I came to him to tell him that in spite of his misfortunes, that I would share poverty with him. Oh, for cat's sake. That's why she was going to run out on him.
Just you wait, Cecil. I'll get up on that witness stand and I'll tell what really happened.
Wait. He told me that he had lost his fortune to break our engagement. Failing in this, he threw me out of the house. I was so shocked and hurt that I wandered the streets for hours, a physical and nervous wreck.
Well, she was a wreck before she ever came to this town.
I am a broken and crushed woman, she stated, and I feel that he should pay for the injury done me.
Every time I read that, Cecil, I get madder.
When does her suit start?
Read that, Cecil. Right there.
She declared that she would appear at the trial if she had to be carried in on a stretcher.
It says right here that she says that she's too weak and nervous to get out of bed for the present.
Ha! Her girlish heart. Her heart was girlish when Lincoln was dipping candles.
No, Cecil, it was Benjamin Franklin that dipped candles.
Well, she's dippy if she thinks she can get to first base suing for breach of promise.
Uncle Thomas says it's always dangerous to fight a woman.
Look, Sally, we'll get on the witness stand, both of us, and swear that she ditched him because she thought he was broke.
Do you think she really and truly will swear that Uncle Thomas broke her heart?
Oh, you bet she will. She'll get up there and cry and make banjo eyes at the judge and the jury and break down and sob and act scared and afraid. She'll have the jury wanting to stick pins in your uncle for hurting her.
Well, I don't believe it. This is America, and Columbus didn't discover us to have people like the widow Mason sue Uncle Thomas.
Where's Mr. Smith?
He stayed down at the office to wait for his lawyers.
You better answer it then.
I will. Hello? Oh.
What's the matter, Sally? Did you get a shock?
Cecil, it's her. It's Mrs. Mason. She's on the phone.
Take your hand off the mouthpiece. I want to call her something.
No. Cecil, what shall I do?
What'd she say?
She said, is this you, Sally Smith?
What did you say?
I said, oh.
You better say yes, then.
Yes? What shall I say now?
What'd she say?
What did you say? My uncle isn't in. Cecil, what'll I do?
Well, see what she wants. What's she calling here for?
I'm not speaking to you, Mrs. Mason, but I'll listen to you as long as I have the receiver up.
Hey, when you get through, let me talk to her. Willie taught me how to say chiseler in 6 different languages.
Yes? Yes? Well, no, I won't tell you where to find him. He won't talk to you either. Very well.
What'd she say?
Oh, Cecil, she wanted Uncle Thomas.
What's the matter? Is she sorry now?
Oh, no, she was very mean. She wanted me to tell her where she could find him, and I wouldn't do it.
Good for you. That's one time you showed a little brains.
Now, Cecil, is this any time to bandy words, is it?
What did she want?
Cecil, she said for me to tell Uncle Thomas that she would settle out of court if he wanted to.
She'd settle out of court?
She said her lawyer told her to let them handle it, but that she could say that much if he was willing to pay her what she wanted.
Why, the old hawk. She even sneaks behind her own lawyer's back.
Oh, Cecil, what if Uncle Thomas does it? He doesn't want to take it to court. He said so.
Well, he wouldn't let her make a goat out of him, Sally.
All right now, Cecil, you be careful what you call my dear sweet uncle.
Would he be such a fish as to pay her when he didn't do anything?
Well, shall I phone him and tell him what she said?
Do you think maybe you could forget all about it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm afraid to tell him. I want him to fight Mrs. Mason. We Smiths are all fighters. They used to call Grandfather Smith the Fighting Smith.
Well, I guess you better phone down to your uncle's office and tell him what the latest report from the enemy is.
Well, all right. Westview 0848. Cecil, I'm afraid to tell him.
You better, though. Did she say where he could reach her?
Yes, she's home, right across the street.
Oh, then she's left the hospital?
Yes. Cecil, do you think Uncle Thomas will pay her what she wants?
Did she say what she'd settle for?
Yes. She said if Uncle Thomas gave her $15,000 cash, she'd drop the suit.
$15,000? Well, that's just what Dr. Shepard loaned him to save the store.
Wait a minute, Cecil. Hello, Uncle Thomas? Oh, Uncle Thomas, this is me.
And we've just talked to the ghost.
I just talked to the ghost. No, I don't mean her. I mean...
Oh, Whispering Hope.
Oh, Whispering Hope.
Mrs. Mason.
Mrs. Mason. Yes. She called here right on this very phone. Oh, Uncle Thomas, please don't do it. But she phoned and told me to tell you that... Don't do it, Uncle Thomas. But she said if you gave her $15,000 that she wouldn't bother you anymore and she'd give you back those letters.
What letters? You didn't tell me anything about any letters.
No, Uncle Thomas. She didn't tell her lawyers she was going to do that. Are you going to ask your lawyers what to do?
Knock on wood. What's he going to do?
Yes. Yes. No, Uncle Thomas, please don't. Will you do me a favor?
Is he going to give in, Sally?
No, Uncle Thomas, don't you do it. Let me do it, will you? As a special favor, let me tell her what you just said. All right. Thank you, Uncle Thomas. Goodbye.
Well, what is it, a girl or a boy?
Cecil, he isn't going to do it. He said he wasn't even going to ask his lawyers.
Hooray! Good for him. Then we'll all go to court and hate each other.
Westview 5321. And he said I could tell her what he just said.
Oh, rats, you always get the best of everything.
I'd like to call her and tell her what I think of her, too.
Now's your chance. You better do it first.
What can I call her, Cecil?
Tell her she's bow-legged. She is, and she hates for anyone to notice it.
Tell her what? Hello, Mrs. Mason? This is me. I told Uncle Thomas what you said. Yes. Mrs. Mason, you're not a good woman. Shame on you, you thing.
Tell her she's bow-legged.
I just want you to know that I hate you. Yes, I do. I hate you. Yes, I told him.
I'll bet she's chewing the mouthpiece.
And another thing, Mrs. Mason, everybody knows you're bow-legged, so there, now.
Call her a vampire.
You vampire? What? Oh, what did Uncle Thomas say? Well, I told him, and he asked me to tell you something.
What, Sally? You didn't tell me.
He wanted to know if you can whistle.
Hey, did he say that, Sally?
Yes, he wants to know if you can whistle because he said if you wanted $15,000, you'd have to whistle for it because he's not going to give you a penny. So I guess you better start whistling. Hello. Well, can you imagine that? She hung up on me.